Thanks you all. Thanks for being on the call. Let me try and bring something up. Okay, great. So as you know, I'm just going to fire away, right? The fewer people, sometimes the more fun, because then I can go even faster. So good luck to you guys who haven't got your rocket propeller engine brains on. If you haven't got your rocket propeller or engine brains on, I suggest you go, take it out from your bed, stick it in your head right now, because we're going to go real quick, okay? But it's going to be very important information. So I think it's great that we're here. I think that the people here are each of us here are people who are very serious in wanting to do something with three, and that's why we're here. I mean, I see the commitment, I see the energy, I see the focus. Now, I think that there's also some questions at the back of our heads, like how come I sign up people already? It's like trying to push the rhinoceros across the wall, right? It's like, well, you have to lift the rhinoceros on your shoulder, and it's such a heavy weight. And I think, I don't know whether anybody feels the same, but there's always this stage like, what else do I gotta do, And then, sometimes you see this spurt of activity, sometimes you don't see it. And then you're thinking like, what do I gotta do? And how do people go from a few people to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people, right? What do you gotta do? I think that, that's really the difference between, selling and the difference between leadership, yeah? And of course, all of us currently work as a team. There's a huge difference between, just going out there, getting a few sales. Now, let me just step back a little bit. Three has got two distinct streams of income. The first stream of income is the linear income. And you and I know what linear means. Linear means got effort, got money. No effort, no money. But we all start there with three. So, you learn the basic skills by generating linear income. You go and talk to somebody, create an invite, do the sign up, do all of that, right? Then suddenly you've got a group of people, maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe 10, maybe 20. And then, some are moving, some are not moving. Some Christmas they move, some Chinese New Year they don't want to move. Whatever it is that's really happening, so seasonal, right? And we want to know what to do. So, I think that before I go forward, there's only one thing in my head that I think Adelina didn't say, and I want to emphasize it. I keep hearing this all the time from some specific lines. When I say lines, it means that it's coming from specific arms in the organization. Oh, products are expensive. How expensive is a product if you get $50 for 2 people who joined at basic level and your product is free? If you guys look at it, a Revive is about $50, okay? Or 55 or 53. I mean, it's a very small delta difference. Your products are literally free. How expensive is it when products are free? So I think that this objection, I just wanted to put that on the table because we're going to cover a bit of that, okay? So today, I want to talk specifically about leadership, right? There's a big difference between managing people, babysitting them, and really being the reason why they move forward. Leadership is about being the reason for people to want to move forward and have the courage to want to do what needs to be done, not for you, for themselves. Remember, leadership is not leading them and they do for you. No, leadership is you giving them the courage that they can take the action, the affirmative action, and take the belief and take the whole thing, the mindset, and do what they need to do for themselves. Now, the statement that this comes from, I think, through time, those of you who have gone out through doing FORM and this and that, you would find that some of your friends are in financial need. Whether you've had a conversation with them or not, you would recognize that they're not just in financial need today. 6 months down the road, they're going to be in deeper financial debt or financial crisis, I would put it this way, because right now where things are, a lot of situations are happening economically, and they need courage to move forward. Most of the time, business owners don't have a plan B. I'll tell you the honest truth. They only have what's in front of them. And I know because I used to be a business owner, and Samson knows too, because he said the same thing. He said, when you are a business owner, you grab onto what you have and you hope and pray that it will work. And we do that for years and years and years. Even though the business is declining, We hope that next day there'll be some miracle to cause the business to go up, right? But a declining business is situationally, could be a sunset situation relating to either economy or the industry type or something, right? It's called sunset businesses, right? It's a lot of sunset businesses. Like, for example, you know, I have an uncle, or I had an uncle, he has passed away. He used to make, you know, telephone wires, you know, those telephone cables between the handset and the phone itself, those curly whirly wires. And he, at a good time, he used to be making those wires for all the phones, Motorola and Nokia and all of that, those curly whirly wires between the handset, you know, those kind of old phones. And he was doing okay in the 1980s. But come 1990s, mobile came around. By the time come 2000, he wanted to give the business to the son. It was already dying. It's called a sunset business because the industry of making those kind of wires just was dying. So in this situation, you're going to be talking to a lot of business owners, and you have seen that they need your courage and your commitment to be there for them. They may not necessarily need your help per se, but they need your courage and your commitment and your belief that this is possible. And how are you going to share all of that commitment and belief and possibility? Only because you've gone out to do some investigation, you've talked to people, you've gone to events, you've met Samson, you're a little bit ahead of them in the curve. And that's where they are going to borrow from you, your commitment, your purpose, your direction, your belief. You have made choices. And they want to be able to take some courage from that. They need to come out of their shell and step into somebody else's world and say, oh my God, thank goodness there's like a rope coming out for me from the well, right? And they need you for that. So now, question is, what do you do, right? What do you got to do? So what do you do in your business? What you do is what your team will do. Now, here's, you know, from the initial part, sign up, all the way until they kind of like grow their own wings, let me put it this way. There's this nesting stage, you know. If you, I don't know how many of you guys actually watch baby bird videos. It's one of my favorite. I watch Natural you know, Geographic very often, and I watch baby bird videos all the time, right? I watch baby bird videos from the time that they come out of an egg, and then they grow feathers over a couple of weeks, and then they have to get out of the nest and go away. Okay, they just have to go get out of the nest and go away. And we don't really know why, right? But most likely because they're hungry. So because there comes a time, and so in the beginning, the parents need to sit on the egg. They may take turns. After the egg hatches, the parents go out and get all the worms and come back and feed them, or whatever it is that they're feeding them with. But did you know that the parents feed them less and less over time? As they grow past a certain stage, the mother bird and the father bird, both birds usually, will feed them less and less over time. And when they're hungry enough and they've grown enough feathers, somehow they naturally know, and the bird will jump out and go find their own food, right? So this is what the course of nature is. Now, when you think about your role in the business, that's what you got to do. You got to incubate the egg. You got to be there for them like all the time. You got to, you know, you got to sit on it basically. Now, what does that mean in your business? You've got to be resourceful. You've got to learn how to solve problems for yourself. You've got to show, listen, it is not just about you solving your own problems. It's about you showing your team that there is a way to solve problems if you just sit down and think about it. Okay? So this relates to questions, you know, in the beginning, they're all going to ask all sorts of questions. Where do I find this? Is there a video for that? How come got no this? How come got no that? Okay, this is what I call incubation stage, right? And it is very apparent. It is what I call, it's like a process, and it's not, oh, that person or that sign up. No, it's everybody's behavior. So there's an incubation stage. You're going, oh, where's this? Where's that? Like, don't know where this. So you need to be very careful how you respond, because you can choose between doing it for them, and you can choose between showing them how to do it. And it very often I see that people do it for their team. Now, this is almost telling the baby bird, you can depend on me for life to feed you. Be careful. Okay? So you want to think about that. So you want to show what you do in your business is what your team will do. So being resourceful, learning how to solve your own problems is very key. Now, that doesn't mean don't ask questions, but that also means learning to ask questions in a way that that other people feel that you are learning as opposed to do it for me. There's two ways to ask question. For example, I can go to May and I say, hey May, can you tell me which is the video that has this or that, for example, versus saying, May, how do you find good videos for your team? How to versus what is, for example, right? Or which one? Which one means you're looking for an answer. How to means you're looking for a process and you want to learn. How to is a learning question. So again, you know, when you want to be a resourceful person, you are filtering yourself, your own thinking. Now, again, today's talk is leadership. Okay, so I am going to take you, like I said, if you don't have your propeller brain on, good luck to you. Please make sure you fix it on right now. Okay, you need to be resourceful, and it is also in how you think. So I'm not saying don't ask, guys, but you would also notice some of your teams are very dependent. Where is this? Get me that. How come this? Why they don't do that, right? So that's them. But if you're reflecting the same thinking, then you want to change your questions from where is this, where is that, or to how do you, right? Like I would go to Amy Dunn and say, Amy, how do you find 3-star elites in your team? How do you find the producers in the team? I don't say, oh, what is I don't know, what is I don't know, whatever like, you know, whatever like, you know. So I would say how, so that she can explain to me a process and I can take the process and go use it or something. So learn to be resourceful. The second thing is learning to be coachable, right? Now, I think everybody in this business would say, yeah, I'm very coachable. But, you know, just yesterday I had this conversation with this guy, right? And he's like, yeah, of course I want to learn, but I want to do it my way. What are you learning if you're doing it your way? Are you very painful like that conversation? So the thing is, you can't choose what to be coachable on. If you decide you're coachable, you just got to decide, am I coachable? Yes or no, right? And it's a very painful question because most of us at this age are such professionals. We feel that we know it all. You know, sometimes we've got grown-up kids and we are like, I've got sons and daughters in doctors in medical university. Like, who are you to tell me what, how to be coachable? Obviously, I'm a coachable person. No. So in this business, you've got to decide, right? So what does being coachable mean? Coachable means being able to learn, yeah, being able to accept right or wrong, and just like, okay, you know, maybe I missed something, right? And then go think about it. It does not mean fake humility or fake acceptance, but just the idea is sometimes you have this, I disagree, but okay, let me go think about it. Maybe I am missing a point. Being able to say sometimes maybe I am missing a point, okay? And going back to think about it. Look, if Samson tells me something, I don't argue with him because I know I'm missing something, right? Otherwise he wouldn't say what he said. Or I need to learn his perspective. So being coachable just means, you know, learning, being willing to step off your platform and going to other people's point of view, right? So that's why I always say, right? You know, being coachable and perspective, what does a perspective mean? Imagine a dining table, right? And there is a roast pig. Okay, I don't know, some of you are vegetarians, but here's what it is, right? Scenario. There's a roast pig in the middle of a table, a full head and a tail. If you are sitting where you are facing the roast pig, that is the perspective you got. You're looking at a dead roast pig in the face. If you are sitting facing the butt of the roast pig, then you are looking at a roast pig from the butt angle. You want to have a different perspective, you got to get up, move around to the table and go to the other side, correct? Then you see a different portion of the roast pig. So being coachable just means you know how to get out of your seat mentally, intellectually, emotionally, and say, teach me, show me, let me learn, right? Now, the third thing is being credible. Now, again, this is leadership, okay, guys? Being credible means that what you say is what you do, and that is very, very key. If you say you're going to help someone, help them. If you say you're going to commit to something, do that. I'm not saying overcommit. What I'm saying is what you say, you do, okay? Very key. Now, being open to learn. Again, this is very similar to the coachable one in a sense that some people want to learn, but they only want to learn what they want to learn. Everything else, they don't want to learn one. Okay, so yeah, to me, that's not called learning, okay? That's BS, okay? So when you see this in your team, you know, and whatever I teach you, you're also going to be able to see now in your own teams or in the different people. You'll begin to recognize some of these behaviors, right? So I always say, don't argue with them. just invite them for training, okay? So being open to learn, you're gonna, maybe you have recognized in yourself, I want to learn something, other things I don't want to learn. Again, goes back to a conversation I had yesterday. Yeah, I'm open to learning, but you cannot tell me like this. I'm like, are you learning or not learning, right? Oh, I cannot do it this way. You don't know. Your way is different from mine. Suddenly got your way, my way. Yeah, such BS, right? So yes, today I'm renting and raving. It's a Saturday morning. They're renovating upstairs. So yeah. So being open to learn, you have to make a mental decision. Are you learning? Yes or no? Okay, so very important. Now, the third thing is the next bullet point is really about being positive. Now, again, this is what you do in your business consistently. You are almost creating the image of you being a successful person and enjoying the success already. This page is not just about things to do to get there. This page, these few things that I put on this page, is about you already having these characteristics and this energy and this whole space that you are already successful in 3. Okay, success to be defined by you, but it's already there. You are not just trying to fix it up or formulating, but you are mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, you are already in a space that you're doing the right things that your team can follow you to do the right ones. Okay, so being positive means genuinely positive versus toxic positivity. If you can't be positive about something, and sometimes we can't, all right, sometimes the disappointments are big, I agree. Sometimes some days are just hard, I agree, right? But learn how to deal with negativity in your life or in your space of 3. And it's okay to call up somebody and say, oh my God, like Adelina does this, right? And Samson does it occasionally. He's like, how's things? And then he goes, how's life? How's things? And then how's life? I mean, these are 2 separate questions. I don't know whether you guys noticed that. So now what does that mean? There's this thing, right? So learn how to deal with negativity in your, find the right kind of people to talk to. Don't go talk to someone who's going to make you more sad and more depressed. You got to make decisions, right? So be positive and be genuine about being positive. Okay, now the other thing is consistently being focused on your goals. Now here's the thing, right? People talk about goals as in money, but there's other things about your why, right? It could be health, it could be time, it could be community. And for me, community is a really big piece, right? Being a part of a growing community. To me, that's really, really big. People who want to achieve something, help other people, very big for me in my brain, right? So I believe that money comes as a result of being able to impact some people in a certain way, right? So you need to focus on your why. A lot of times people say, oh, I want to make money, but I got no time lah. I'm busy lah. I'm this lah, So to me, that's just called being really disorganized, number 1. Number 2, your conversation, what you say and what you think are just 2 different directions. Now, what's going to happen is your team is going to do exactly what you do. They're not going to do what you tell them to do. They're going to do exactly what you do, which is they're going to also tell you back, I'm busy. It's very simple. And you will see, those of you who got teams, you can see this already in your level 1s, where that person, that sponsor will create an entire line of behaviors. Only when that sponsor changes, then you will find the behaviors begin to change. Okay, so this is the core relationship between sponsor and sponsoree, or whatever you call the other person, the first generation. Yeah? So focus on your goals. Now, being focused on your goals doesn't mean spending 24 hours. Somebody said to me yesterday, again, a conversation, right? You can lah. You can spend 24 hours a day. I cannot. I've got other things to do. I'm like, whatever lah. It's just like, no, you guys are wrong. I spend maybe 2 to 3 hours on 3 every day. But when I'm here, you see me 110%. That's the only difference. Some people, when they're here, their brain is still elsewhere. And when you do that, you have shortchanged your time, because what has happened is your time is, you are spending the time without gaining the benefit. Do you get it? So when you are in an event, 100%. You choose to go to the event, 100%. Be there, right? Be there mentally. So for me, I've realized that the best way to make use of time is anything I choose to do, be there mentally. When I go shopping, I'm 100% mental shopping, okay? Whatever it is that I'm shopping or buying, right? I'm just like focused. So once you develop this skill of being focused in whatever it is that you're doing, you're likely to be a lot more successful because your time is well used. Most people, they have a split brain personality, okay? Not diagnosed schizo, but the point is they're split brain. They are here, but then they're talking about some other thing, right? So I can tell you that's a huge waste of time because you're missing everything in front of you and you're missing everything else that's going on in your brain on somewhere else, okay? Big problem. So focus on your goals. Make sure that you're consistently connected with it. And if it helps, write your why on a piece of paper and stick it in your wallet and look at it daily. That's a good way to keep connected with it. Now, the last thing about what you do in your business is what your team will do. The last thing in my brain, at least, is to learn to make use of all the systems and resources that Three has to offer. Learn to work with the leadership, learn to work with the people, learn to work with the tools. A lot of times, I think when the new people come in and then they sign up somebody, they try to find solutions for their friends, which is great, but outside of the Three system. Okay? They perhaps you will see situations, oh, I see you don't know about we don't know how to get, I don't know, whatever information. Let's just go generally Google some information about resveratrol, about Three products or whatever, right? No, go and use the support line. Go and ask the support people. Get the company to work for you, if that makes sense, right? For example, whatever it is lah. So people go somewhere else for information. Learn how to use it. Why? This is your company. This is your business. And then you can, once you have this sense of ownership, for me now, you know what? Hong Kong office opening, I tell people now I got an office in Hong Kong. Oh my Lord, it's amazing because it's so hard to get, your own business go, so to me, that's really fun, right? So learn to use the systems and office, whatever is provided, including the people, the leadership, the whole channel, the whole thing, right? Learn to be a part of it and learn to use it, right? So I noticed that there's a lot of, supplementary information or, if you take this product and it's not well, why don't you go take some other thing meanwhile, or whatever advice it is, let me give you advice, don't take whatever. No, go to back office. Okay, don't get information from just everywhere and dump. Try to get your team to learn to make use of the tools. If they're uncomfortable with product or they feel they have discomfort or they whatever it is they're suspicious about the use of some of the products, go to back office, click the support button, teach them how. This is what you got to teach them, to use the systems and resources. Go to back office, ask the admin, whatever it is that you got to do, ask the question. Learn to ask the question and get the answers back from the correct source. Don't go third party all over the shop and ask about some other person, right? So I think this is very important. So when you can correct your behavior in terms of what you do in the business, it'll come out in terms of instruction of what you tell people to do. And when you do that, then your team is aligned. Okay, so to me, this slide is really, really, really about you already being successful, you keeping a very tight ship. People know what to do. You can only be successful when you know what to do and people know what to do. So I think this page is a very key thing in that. Okay, I'm going to try and run a few more. So what do you got to do on a day-to-day or week-to-week? Let's just talk weeks, right? I know everybody's got things to do, but here's what you got to do, right? I think 3-4 things that people are not yet learn how to do. Number one, create your activities. You might have 1 sign up, you might have half a sign up, you might have 10 sign up. It doesn't matter. But when you as a sponsor are not regularly, look, when I say create activities, you can have copy sessions for all I care. Okay, it's like if your team are very good in terms of plugging in and webinars and all that, and you feel that you are not someone who likes to do training, or you don't like to have this, the things, whatever, you just want to have copy session, that is also called a session. So put that in your calendar, right? Say, oh, okay, this week I'm talking to so and so, at least once a week lah, talk to somebody in your team, right? At least once a week, talk to each person in your team. It can be a copy session, it can be a training session, it can just be a Q&A, chit chat for 20 minutes on the phone, kind of say, how are you, how are they doing, what are the problems you have, how do I help you, or what resource do you need, did you look in the back office, did you this, did you that, right? Or maybe get 2, 3 people, depending on what your kind of personality is and what your mood is. Like for me, I'm the kind of personality who just likes people on WhatsApp, and you can see that I'm driving that. And then there's also, you know, the trainings, and I don't mind doing that, right? So, but you want to create some activities that's personal to you and your at least first generations. Okay, do the liked ones. If you're already tapping on the corporate events, like Adelina and myself, and all, we tap on the corporate events and global webinars, but we also run WhatsApp and stuff which you guys can tap into. If you want to spin off some stuff, come and talk to us. We'll be happy to. And I think I'm so, you know, I'm so excited actually to announce that actually May's team and Hornwide, they've already started to spin off their own little conversations. And they're also going to spin off, oh, by the way, quick announcement, next Thursday, 22nd, there's going to be a special Chinese webinar by May's team, May and Hornwide. They're going to have, and it's fixed, yeah, guys, we haven't made the announcement, 22nd at 9 p.m, Mandarin webinar. And that's going to be a showcase, okay? So we are going to be looking for testimonials as well in Mandarin. Okay, I'll come back to that. So create your own activities, right? All of these things, you're going to think and say, oh, what's missing? How can I do this? How can I? Yeah, of course, different people through their different experience will have different capacities. But the point is, even if you have one person, learn to create activities. Now, your one person could be your cousin. Your one person could be your sister. And you're thinking to yourself, I already talked to her about everything from kids to husband. Why do I need to talk to her about 3? No, you do. You do. Okay? You need to make sure that you keep business separate from family discussions and everything else. Why? She signed up, she had a reason. Even if her reason was to support you, your job remains the same. You need to educate, you need to make sure that if she's going to help you, she signed up alone, it's not helping you very much. She needs to open her network. That's what it is. Okay? So your job is create some activities. Just say, look, you know, maybe let me introduce you to some. An activity can be very simple. Let me introduce you to Adelina. Hey, let me grab Adelina for a coffee session. Let me grab Claire for a coffee session. You know, May might say, hey, let me grab Hornwide for a coffee session. Let's 2, 3 of us just chit chat a little bit about our business goals, our plans, how much money we need, what are our challenges. You know, just get together, right? So create your activities, right? It can be anything. Now, if you have a bigger team, then it's a bigger kind of thing. But if not, it could be small ones, right? So we are spinning things off. So the second thing is, of course, you know, join corporate, global, and upline activities. Don't just go into your own and forget about the group. Remember, you are building your own team, but you are also part of the local, regional, and global community. So be a part of that and be a part of that, yeah? The third thing is contribute towards bigger team, corporate, global initiatives. And, you know, for example, contribution is like testimonials, this and that, right? Contribute, just offer, learn to find out. You know, here's the magic, right? If we're going to sit back and say, wait, you send me VIP card, invitation card, then I come and contribute. No, learn how to say, hey, do you need this? Like for example, you know, I tell you how it is. It's like, you know, you go and then you go like, hey, Samson, do you need a cup of water? Hey, Samson, can I get you, you know, some food? My gosh, you've been talking for 4 hours. Can I get you a cup of water? These little things, we think it's little, but you need to, because we need him to continue talking. That's why I'm not trying to get him to like me. I don't give a shit whether he likes me or not, but I need him to continue talking, right? For example, yeah. The other thing is, of course, contributing to larger corporate, right? Larger corporate will be people like Keith, like, hey, you know, how can we help? And Adelina's got a lot of that. So maybe you guys want to, you know, figure out how to do a bit of that. There's no fixed lines to this, but really, you know, it gives you a way to participate in the bigger family. Let's put it this way, yeah. Just like Chinese New Year, everybody got a job, right? Some people cutting some guang, some people peeling prawns, some people frying the whatever, right? So we all contribute, right? So this is a little bit like that, you know. And also creating results for everybody together, yeah? So I'm going to go to the next slide. I'm not going to, this one. Now, this page, I think, is what I call do's and don'ts page. And I think this is a very important principle page. It's about leadership principles. Number 1, take charge. Take charge of your time, your effort, your activities, and take charge of earning your own money or earning money per se, whether it's for yourself or for your kids or whatever your goals and your whys are. Take charge of it. A lot of people, like here, say, I want to make more money, but they don't take charge of their time. They don't take charge of even earning it. Let me tell you why. Because there's no problem with being busy. Yeah? Let me get that right. There's no I was busy for the last 3-4 weeks. I've had things to do, but you don't hear me coming around telling everybody, I'm busy, I can't do this, I can't. No. You don't hear I can't from me. You only hear I can from me. Right? I can, I will, I am. These are things that you want to focus on because your team is going to reflect the same. So, so this is, and this is really funny, right? So it's amazing. For example, you might have team members who are very, very fresh. And, I think it's a corporate behavior just as well. When you say, oh, there's going to be, why don't we all come for a meeting on Friday or a meeting on Saturday? And some of your new team members have this huge compulsion to tell the whole world that they can't make it. They have to tell the whole group, 90 or so people of whom they don't know in the entrepreneurial group, that they can't make it and they're going to be busy. Nobody gives a shit. Let me tell you, okay? All right. I don't know whether you guys know what I'm talking about, but we have removed that behavior. Adelina and I removed that behavior ages ago. So there are people who don't realize yet that saying I can't make something, they are actually they're looking for acknowledgement or permission. They're waiting for somebody to say, oh, it's okay, you're busy, I get it, right? Well, you can't come, it's fine. But the boat's going to go without you, and they needed somebody to kind of placate them for that. They can't come. It's like, it's okay, we're going to share with you, we're going to give you info. No, nobody gives a shit, right? So you want to make sure that as a leader, they are aware of their responsibility. You have no responsibility for people who can or cannot come. They need to make choices. So when I say take charge of your time, your effort, your activities, and earning money, we are all adults and we got to behave like it. And we are all business owners. This is the worst part. We are all business owners. We've got to behave like it, okay? So when people are very apt to say, but the moment you say, oh, there's going to be this, I can't come. And then you have never heard them in their life say they can't do anything. Okay, this is a certain trait, right? So if you want to, for those of you who are here, you're probably not part of that, but you probably already are people who need to increase your ability to take charge. Take charge of your time, your effort, your activities, and take charge of the amount of money you want to earn or need to earn. You need to take charge of it. It's not just saying I want it, it's also taking charge of it. Now, the second thing is have proper knowledge. A lot of times people have got product knowledge. They go into the product, they read the product test, they read all these epigenetics and blah, 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 blah. But ask them the vision, don't know. Ask them the leaders, don't know. User stories, don't know. System, don't know. Everything also don't know. Up and right? Right? But I tell you something. That's not called proper knowledge. It's immaterial because the product and all that got info already. You need to talk about things that are not well documented, not the things that are well documented. That's not useful at all. Right? So have proper knowledge. Proper knowledge includes the vision, the leaders, the leadership, the user stories, the systems, your team, your lines, your immediate sponsors, the good things, right? Stick with all the good things. Have proper knowledge, yeah? Of course, the other thing is connect more from the heart, right? And taking positive, productive action daily, okay? And taking positive, productive action daily. It really means, making a decision. If you're going to do 20 minutes a day and you say, okay, every Tuesdays, I'm going to make 3 calls. Even if you do it once a week, every Tuesday, I just make 3 different phone calls, and it's just going to be half an hour, or that's all the time that I have on this planet to do the business, then take it, right? And then you might say, oh, okay, well, I can squeeze half an hour on a day-to-day, but put it in your calendar. Put it in your calendar and commit to it. That's what it means by taking charge of your time, right? And you want to find that slot, make it consistent, and do that, right? Because you know something? The effort that you put in today isn't going to be money today. The effort that you put in today, you're going to see it in 1 week's time, at least on a PIB basis. But if you want to build leverage income, the effort that you put in today, you're going to see in 3 months, maybe 6 months. But if you don't put anything in it today, I can tell you what's predictable. There'll be nothing in 3 months or 6 months. Nothing. That will guaranteed one, okay? But if you put effort in today, how big it can be, you know, that's really something. Yeah. So take some, if you can, positive, productive action daily. Even if that positive, productive action is really just to listen to a video, listen to an audio. Look, if you are sick and tired of listening to audios and videos, give Adelina and call. Adelina, what's the 3 best things? Can I tell you about the 3 best things I did this week? Can I tell you about the 3, or Claire for that matter, right? Can I share with you the 3 wrong things I did? Would you give me some feedback or whatever? Just create a conversation with somebody, okay? So take some action, and it's okay to get things wrong. Find somebody in your upper line who's going to be able to help, and the kind of person who's you know, who loves the chitty chat or whatever. Sit down with you. Don't gossip. Don't gossip. Don't talk about a bunch of stuff relating to, you know, just the other day, right? I was talking to, I don't know what, it was a kind of a pre-Chinese New Year. And you guys know Sabah and Sarawak is having some mega drama about some mega dramas, right? And I'm like, yeah, we all know all these things, but don't come to a meeting to talk about Sabah and Sarawak issues, right? I mean, you know, I'm not interested in who disappeared and who didn't. I really don't care, you know, not in a meeting of 3, right? So when you get to a meeting, again, spend 100% on solving the problems, okay? So, and the last thing I think when it comes to do's and don'ts is this idea of babysitting. And we have to be really clear. If you want to lead, you want to be sure that they are building up skills. And how do you ensure that? You ensure that by being very, very conscious of the things you say, the things you do, being very present and very conscious. The things you say, how you say, and what you do, and how you do. Okay? So babysitting just means I do for you. It's like, oh, the baby needs milk. Oh, come, let me get you some milk. Oh, the baby needs to change a napkin. I'll go change your napkins for you. Blah, blah, blah. So when you do babysitting, what you're going to get is a baby bird that'll never leave the nest. You've got a problem because a nest can only fit 2 to 3 birds. That's all the time you got. So when you're babysitting, okay, you only have 2 to 3 people, and that's all the time that you have in this world. And this 2 to 3 birds ain't gonna you know, give you some financial freedom in any way whatsoever, right? Okay, great. So these are again, you know, these beautiful slides were created by Samson. I used the template that he provided anyway. So just so you know, it's beautiful. So essentially driving the business, you know, if you guys want, you can take a snapshot of it. Otherwise, I'd be happy to send you guys the screen. Driving the business just basically means, you know, focusing on some of the key activities. Now, what do you do as a leader? You got to teach and practice. The key word is not just teaching, but it's also practice. People learn not from what you say, but from what you do. Remember, people learn from what you do. So what you do is really important. That's why people say, you know, that's why there's this whole drive towards bringing people for events, how to do a close. We do a lot of the beginning part because they're going to learn from smack start what you say and what you do right up front. And they'll repeat exactly that. So, you know, I've seen, you know, in my time, I've seen, you know, people want to sign up just the $30 basic and don't buy product. Let me tell you what happens. Okay, the whole line just ends up buying $30 and not buy product. What for? After a while, they realize, hey, I cannot make money. And it's like, you know, so be very clear, yeah. So you drive what you do is going to determine your success and the other person's success. So in a situation like this, you are a leader. Somebody comes up with this loosey-goosey idea. Oh, you know what? I'm just going to sign up a starter kit lah. And then after that, their starter kit become their own friend also, all sign up only the membership fee and this and that, never buy product. If you see this step 1, you've got to make it right up front and tell them. And now, here's the thing about leadership. You have to be able to talk about the feel good and the don't feel good instructions. A lot of times, we are not leaders. We love the fame. We're just there to be popular. Okay, we're in a popular competition. No, leadership is not about a popularity contest. Leadership is the ability to convey good news and bad news without fear or favor, okay? So sometimes when you have someone coming up and giving you some funny, I want to do it like this, you need to hold tight and learn how to, you know, speak the good and the bad and convey it and teach or whatever that is in that conversation. So a lot of times I feel that there's a lot of fear in the leadership space. Oh, can I say it? If I say it, he won't like me, she won't like me. Let me tell you, you're not going to like the result if you don't say it, okay? Because you're not going to like the result down the road, 3 months down the road, if you don't say it now. To me, these are important things. At least you know you've said it. And if that happened later down the road, you can turn around and say, well, I did say the other day that this is what you need to do right now. Are you willing to do? Then don't make it into you're right, I'm wrong, I'm right, you're wrong. But rather offer them an opportunity to do it right. When they have, you see, okay, let's say example, right? Me and that person, I say this, the fellow say, no, I want to do it this way. I said, okay, but I stay in touch. I stay in touch. I stay in touch. We keep, after a while, they're going to be like, hey, how come I'm not making money? Then what happened is a certain realization has occurred. They become aware that their car is going in the wrong direction. They're not getting whatever it is that they want. When the realization has occurred, that's when I can say, well, you know, we discussed this earlier and I had offered a suggestion. You chose to do it your way. Well, now you have proven that your way doesn't work. Would you like to follow mine? Right? So this is when you get to offer them a way forward that you know, that you get to offer them your leadership. Okay. So this is, I hope, useful. And of course, the last bit, know some of these very basic rules. I've highlighted in black the ones that are very most common. Don't prejudge. Talk to your warm market first and play as a team, right? Play as a team. This is very important. Play as a team, meaning to say, use your lines, use your uplines, you know, leverage on the people above you, leverage, you know, on your common group leadership, right? To lead you, not just to lead you for the activities, but to lead you in terms of connecting, in terms of resource, in terms of knowing other people, in terms of your own visibility. But people miss this point. Without Samson, our group is not visible, let me tell you. You get it? If you guys think about it really, really carefully, without Samson, our group is not visible. We'll just be invisible like every other network marketing company. You'll all just be invisible. So knowing and working as a team is so key. Okay? So knowing how to work with the people who work with the people, right? That's really what it is, right? So understanding this is very important if you really want to get your business somewhere. And trust me, that visibility is one of the important things. And of course, working with the team in a larger concept. And so it's not wise to say that you know, we can just do what we want and ignore the rest of the group. No, there is a two-way function, up and down, not usually side, but up and down. Okay, your work is primarily up and down. Okay, up just means the people before you, and down just means the people you brought in directly or subsequently. You know, your multiple generations. Okay, good. So 5 slides. I know I've taken everybody into the deep diving pool, and but yeah, open for questions right now, everybody.